Hello, all of my good friends out there on YouTube and everywhere on the internet. My name is LukasRethke, and today I did something for the first time that I could not do in a very long time. There's a lot of spiritual energy, collective consciousness, uh, creative, divine material floating around us, and that's what all the tension's from globally. And I am wearing these shades tonight. Not at all, because my eyes are red, and they might be a tiny little bit, who knows, but because of the screen gives off radiation, as does the alternating current light bulb right there above my head that you cannot quite see, but you can see the reflection of the screen and the light in the reflection in the mirror in front of me in my glasses. How's that? You can probably see. Ooh, that was kind of cool. So, uh, and what I don't want to do is screw up my what's called a circadian rhythm. Okay, and I am working so diligently. Well, I've learned to be more tranquil while I work, and I have learned to redefine work and not be such a workaholic. And I've learned to be addicted and to love and to celebrate and to worship all that exists, which includes my personal self-being right here, right now. And when it all boils down to it, you cannot get in any more control anymore. You cannot get any more control over any being but the one you were given, because it is physically, scientifically, mathematically impossible for one being to perfectly own and control another being. And that is all there is to it. I mean, prove me wrong. I would love for this discussion to start right here. And these thoughts have just come out of me just now. I thought the video was going to be about something else, actually, and it is. And I'm getting to that part, which is a trust issue. Okay, and now that I am grounded to planet Earth, and I feel a bit more grounded, and I'll explain why here in a minute, that I trust myself a lot more, and the words flow freely because I have more than just one video. I erased a bunch of them, but from tonight, this is take number 3, I believe. Uh, and I only erased the second one because this is a direct upload from my private bedroom, which I'll explain that someday, probably in a later video, why I'm down here in a dungeon almost. The thing above my head there behind me, the bathrobe, that covers the window. So when I take that down at night, and then in the morning the sun shines through the thin cloth that is underneath of that bathrobe, and I get some very nice east sunshine shining right directly here. And I just love that sun just coming in through the window. And the light bulb kind of does it too when I lean back, but ironically. So the whole reason for the video, which we're now 4 minutes and 20 seconds exactly into it, ironically again, the reason I'm making this video is because today, for the first time, I was able to truthfully, honestly, within deep down in myself, even though I didn't feel quite grounded at the time, I just looked out and I saw the most beautiful sight out my easterly window. That's right above this window, right behind, basically above the stairs there, that you can see in the angled shadow. Kind of cool little detail there. And what the sight was was the sun shining on my next door neighbor's bright, bright, colorful American flag. Yes. And that thing was so beautiful. And I admired it. And I thought about it. And I stood there. And I actually didn't put my right hand above my heart, depending on your definition of above. And I said to myself out loud, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, meaning all people everywhere. And that's not the end. That, my friends and fellow citizens of Paradise Earth, is the beginning of time. Sort of. Depending on your definition of the word time, I guess. When do we start? When do we stop? So we really didn't start. And we really don't want to stop, do we? I don't see too many people that want to give up. I see a whole lot of people who are confused about who their God is, confused about why their government seems to be controlling them so much and they can't decide how to get out of their little box and keep in touch with reality and God and their religion, and also be with their government at the same time, because it seems like a legal, spiritual, moral time contradiction or paradox that we have all kind of been engulfed in. And basically what I see that as is on a well, let's see, I don't know, it is just sometimes weird. Well, I will give you an example. I will incriminate myself on this video, which there's nothing more incriminating than can be taken with satellite imagery. I have noxious weeds on my property, and I do not morally believe in supporting the big business. Well, I suppose I wrongfully accused them of being evil in my life, which is something that I've made mistakes of labeling things as evil, and I am now correcting my mistakes. And maybe you know what? The noxious weeds, the goat heads that I have back there, spray's not going to do anything. They're already there for the season. If I'd have sprayed them a few times this year, it'd have been fine. And I probably, in hindsight, should have just done it. But I have found a new way to take care of my weed problem. Totally sustainable, totally biodegradable, not natural. Water. Yes, water. Learn how to water, and it was just 9/11, your grass very, very scientifically, by soaking it down for a very long time, possibly at night, and then letting the top evaporate and the bottom water pull down, and that pulls the roots down, and you develop a healthier root system, and your grass grows better, and you use less water in the long run. And yes, you can fight weeds with water, 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 but not very much. My system of watering uses much less water than most of the government regulated watering days and things, because it's just not quite there yet. I mean, we're getting there. We're all a bunch of confused people trying to figure this government machine out, and the internet machine, and the money machine, and the what other machines are there? Well, it's not really a machine. Well, it is kind of a machine. The universe is basically a machine. Okay, so I explained to you the little paradox that we have, and here's the big paradox. The Earth and the solar system are hanging on by a thread, and the scientific community can't figure out what the heck's going on here. Well, let me shed some light on the subject here for you people. Excuse me. I need some water, and it is in a stainless steel container for a very scientific reason. Because Stanley Meyer taught me that water molecules normally float upside down. Interestingly enough, quite some time ago. And by putting them in 316 grade stainless steel, very high quality, which I don't even know quite if this is that high quality, but that's what he used in his experiments. You basically get the molecules to float right side up. Well, sheesh, that got my crazy brain thinking. We all are basically spiritually, energetically, depending on your religious views, because if you're a religious scientist, energetic is the word, and if you're religious as in like holy books are important to you like they are to me, as well as the scientific community, you know, science is kind of like religion to some people, so whether they admit it or not, we just need to all figure this out. So we're all a bunch of confused citizens, people here of Paradise Earth, and we're all trying to figure this machine out that we have in front of us called the government and the internet, and the money thing is obviously very tense. And I have a couple of books that I would like to show that I have been reading. The first one I'm almost done with, because it's upside down. You can see it's almost done there. So, and the second book that I have that I'm just about to start, and this is about probably about the last one that I'll read by this guy, because I pretty much know more than he does, no offense. Seems like sometimes, but see, and then you always have to watch out for those kinds of people. That, because right there I got this feeling where I just got a little bit of a big head there, because when you think you have it all figured out, I'm going to tell you this straight and simple. People of Paradise Earth, when you have this thing all figured out, and I'm talking to all beings everywhere, when you think you have this all figured out, that's when you're wrong. Because in order to have it all figured out, you have to make sure you're tranquil and energetically grounded while you're thinking. And if you're not ambidextrous and balanced enough to do all of that while you're thinking, coordinated enough, and I'm saying it's not easy, only because I'm just barely now learning how to do it. And I just stared into the camera just because it's a show of honesty, you know? And I did screw up my rhythm, and I just kind of got a little woo a little bit. But this here helps me to ground myself. Okay? And we're almost out of time. And this here also helps me to ground myself. Yea, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I will fear no evil.